Hello everyone. So I'm here today to make a video just talking some things out that I have been thinking about for the last couple weeks. And I wanted to talk about them sooner, but I have been feeling really super self-conscious as of late, so I haven't been really feeling like making a video. But then again, these things have been like trapped in my head for a bit, and I don't really have any one to talk to about them except for people here on YouTube. So I was like, well, it's time to make a video and just hope, I mean, like, if people don't want to watch, they won't. And if they do, maybe they've felt the same thing and maybe it can be talked out and I don't have to have these stupid things stuck in my head anymore. This is really super annoying. Like, for starters, I've been feeling very, very self-conscious about my dolls, um, about their face-ups in particular. I know I could be definitely better at face-ups. Like, I haven't fooled myself into thinking I'm, like, super awesome, but I really haven't been that critical of myself until recently. Like, I feel very insecure and it's really, really bothering me. Because I think the reason why it's bothering me so much is because I went through, a long while here where I've at least felt confident that while they're not the best, they're not the best sculpts, they're not like sculpts for everybody, and while my face up work can definitely use some work, they're not like super horrible, or at least in my opinion. But um and I felt like, yeah, I have room for improvement and I'm going to, keep practicing till I get to where I want to be. But in the meantime, I'm like, well, I think they look okay, sometimes even pretty, or, well, not really handsome because I can't do handsome face-ups yet. I can only seem to do pretty or girly or however you want to express it. But I figured I was at least decent, but lately I've just felt like wiping everybody and just sending them off to people who know what they're doing. And I hate feeling that way because with face ups, I can't do much for my dolls. Um, I mean, like, I can buy them things, but I can't do much artistically with them. I've never had a good eye for photography. I am trying, but I actually have never had a good eye for photography. I know it looks good when other people present it and it looks good, but when I personally do it, like, it goes to crap. And sewing has been just pathetic. I haven't given up on it, but it has been pathetic. But when it comes to face ups, I feel like I've been improving and improving and improving, and I don't know, I was feeling like super good about them and super like good that one day like I'd get to, a good place. But now I'm just like, oh god, they're all so crappy and my dolls are crappy, and it's just really frustrating. And I don't know if other people have ever like felt this really super frustrated or not, or I if it's just me. I not like I'm the only one to ever feel certain ways, but I don't really see people like go on about it the way it's been in my head. Like, I everyone seems so confident in their dolls, and for a while there it was nice to feel that confidence as well, but now I just feel like it's just not there anymore, and it's just pissing me off, to be honest. um I don't know. So that's one of the things that has been in my head. I know there's about no real solution to that per se, because to be perfectly honest, I felt this way near the beginning of the hobby, but that was more sculpt based. But I'm actually satisfied with all the sculpts I have been able to bring home. I they're not everyone's cup of tea, definitely. Like I have some dolls that could be considered popular, but for the most part, my collection remains sort of unique on some fronts, and that's perfectly okay. It's okay that, like, you know, people can find the sculpts ugly, but I'd rather them not find, like, what I do to them. So I don't know. It's just so, like, I don't know. I feel kind of like I did um during the first bit of the hobby, where, like, I was just super down about everything all the time, and it's just, I don't want to be that way, and I don't want yeah, I just don't want to be that way, especially since last time this happened. My in real life friends noticed, and they just, like, wondered why I was in the hobby if I was just upset about it all the time. And I was like, you know what, that's a really good question, and I don't want that question to come up again, especially since I actually love this hobby. I think I don't know what it is that's getting to me. Sometimes I wonder if it's because I'm afraid of criticism. I'm super afraid of people, even though this hasn't really happened to me directly yet, but I'm afraid of people finding my dolls ugly, and having it be my fault, and being called out on it, like, publicly, like on a blog or Tumblr or what have you. And I don't know. I don't know if that's, like, the basis of it, or if because recently I've been feeling self-conscious about myself, and I was like, is that just transferring into my dolls simply because they matter to me? So I don't know. So I'm only talking that out because it's been trapped in my head. I know there's no real um, way to get past it except to really, to get past it and get back to a good place again. And I'll be working on it. I have decided to actively work on it rather than just let myself go further and further down into this pit of despair and be like, my dolls suck and they're ugly and blah blah blah. I don't feel like being that way. No one should be that way. Everyone should be confident about their dolls. Everyone seems to be confident about their dolls. And I always get frustrated when people have beautiful dolls and they're just, like, down on them. You don't see it often, but you see it and you're just like, your doll's beautiful. What's wrong with you? And I don't want to be that way myself. Not saying, my dolls are beautiful, so I shouldn't be that way. I'm just saying, I want the confidence I see in others, and because I admire it and I feel like it shines through. So no matter how the doll actually looks, whether it's personal taste or not, you can see their confidence in it, and it just makes them shine. I don't know. That's how I feel. So there's that. Um, Sorry for that. Next up on my mind is a subject that I have seen come up a lot in the confession blogs as of late, and that is the subject of gay male dolls. And it's actually to a point where it's frustrating me, if only because I I don't like offending anyone, and I especially don't like when I'm accidentally offending anyone. But I also don't like hobby policing, and there's a lot of things on my head that actually falls under the whole umbrella of hobby policing, but we'll start with this subsection, as it were, because to me these dolls are fantasy objects, and in my opinion, if you want your entire collection to be made out of gay male dolls, you should be able to do that if you want to, and people shouldn't make you feel horrible for it, because I'm not understanding what's so horrible about it, unless they're being like really, really offensive about it. And even I haven't seen that. Like, I might be looking in the wrong place. Maybe that's it. I have seen a lot of gay male dolls. I own a lot of gay male dolls, but I haven't seen it be done in an offensive way yet. Like, I I can understand if someone's being obviously offensive about it, then definitely have a problem with it. Definitely have this problem with it. But otherwise, you know, what is it harming? I just don't get it. And it makes me feel like whenever I present one of my dolls, like such as Rye, who is a gay male doll, and who his boyfriend is here with me, he's bi, who his head's off to get his head's off here. I didn't send him off to get a new face up, so I couldn't bring him over as well. But you know, I have them, and I didn't realize, you know, that I'm like offending people because I have them, and that, like, you know, it like, people want to apparently like get rid of them. Like, it's like that deeply offensive to them, I guess. And it's to the point where I'm just like, I don't understand what's so wrong with it. And then people will bring up the point, like, where there's all these gay male dolls, where are all the lesbian dolls? And I'm saying here, like, I've seen plenty of lesbian dolls, maybe not the same exact amount, but I have seen plenty. And I own one, actually. Haru, my Kendo Kokoro Rosita girl, she actually is a lesbian. I can't wait to bring home her girlfriend once I figure out what sculpt will look nice next to her. That's going to be a search. But anyway, like, I'll see these confessions, and I'm like, okay, so you want to see more lesbian dolls, and you're tired of seeing all these gay male dolls. Well, that would mean that if you want to see more lesbian dolls, how about you buy yourself some lesbian dolls? Like, why should other people buy dolls into their collection just to please other people, and then like get rid of certain dolls just to please other people? Like, that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like, you know, as long as you're being respectful, you should be able to have any doll you would like, no matter their sexual preference, their gender, what job they do, what skin tone they're in. I just feel like, as long as you're treating things with respect, you should be able to do what you want with these dolls, and people shouldn't get so up in arms about it. I just feel like now I just really feel like I'm just offending people, and I have so many gay dolls, like, because I don't know, I just do. I happen to just like them. I don't know the reasoning for it. I never felt like I had to really go into it, actually. I just felt like, you know, they're characters, it happens. I have street dolls. I have dolls that well, I should say characters, because it's not like they're physically, you know. Um, I have, you know, straight characters. I have pansexual characters. I have gay boy characters. I have lesbian characters. I have all sorts of characters. And, you know, the fact that, like, I have so many characters, and I have, like, many of them represented here at home, but that, like, I can only show some of them. But as soon as I, like, tote out, like, Rye, or I don't know, Loki or Sparrow, I'm like instantly offending someone. Just like, it kind of breaks my heart. Like, I don't want to do that. And I also don't want people to, like, I don't know, to judge me based on that when, you know, you should be able to. These are character dolls. They're just dolls to you that just happen to have a sexuality. I don't really see the big deal. I don't know, but it's been in my head a lot, and I don't know if anyone really has on here has an opinion on that, but it's just been really pissing me off. And then another one that I was randomly thinking about, and this also falls under the hobby policing umbrella, is collection size. It's been really odd on this because, like, it seems like you can't win when it comes to collections. If you buy a doll and invest time and money into it and then sell it, then you didn't give this doll a chance. You're wasting people's time. Why'd you even buy the doll, etc., etc. But if you buy a doll, keep it, and then buy another doll, keep it, etc., etc., then it's a waste of space, a waste of money. How did you even get all those dolls? You must be rich, etc. Like, it's like you can't win no matter what you do. And it's been getting to me lately because I'm one of the people who has a collection. I put that in quotations there. I have a collection. I still have every single doll I've bought. I have a lot of them, and I have been lately feeling shamed because of it. And that sucks. I don't want to feel ashamed because I kept my dolls. And I also don't want to be made out that, like, I'm like some super rich. In some cases, people will think like everyone who keeps their dolls are, to quote, rich white bitches, which I'm just like, are you, what the hell? Like, I can't help, there's certain things I can't help. For one, when I first started this hobby, I was making a lot more money because I worked a ton of overtime for it. It was very stressful, and I spent the extra money on dolls. I work hard for my money at a job that sometimes drives me insane, and by sometimes I mean most times. And I work, and the money that I could use to buy electronics or DVDs or go out partying, which I don't like to do much anymore, I spend it on dolls. And there's also layaway, which I also abuse a lot. And you know, it's not like I just happen to have like tons of riches sitting around. That's just not how it's working for me. And just to assume that just like really drives me insane. It does. And then to just assume that like it's a waste of money is like really bugging me, because I don't find it a waste. I love the dolls I have home, and I love like the fact that like I can photograph them together, that if I'm not really feeling one doll, I can move on to another one. I like the fact that like I have these characters here to look at and inspire me, and I don't find it a waste of money. I also don't find it a waste of space. I don't, like, if I got rid of them, I would probably just put other things in that space, and even then they take up a corner, you know, and for right now that's it. And if they happen to take up a little more of this corner, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I don't find it a waste of space. I can see not having the space for them. That's understandable. But the fact that they're just wasting space, like, and just to assume that about people is just, I don't get that. And then there's what else did I just bring up? Waste of money, waste of space. That's pretty much all I can think of. And then there's, you know, of course, the opposite with the buying and selling. And I do follow users who collect completely different than I do. They actually, need to be actively inspired by their dolls, and I totally get that, because like, it's funny, if I didn't have the amount of dolls I was able to get, I don't know how I'd feel right now, because like, I'm not inspired by the same doll all the time. And I feel like I'd probably be in the position of selling a doll or two if I had no other doll to really turn to. You know what I mean? So, like, I totally get it. I totally get that you have to be inspired and everything. So they'll sell their dolls, and then like people will go crazy. And I was like, so I guess the other end of the spectrum isn't living that well either, because like, I get, called out for a waste of money, waste of space, but then they get called other different things. um, and people like feel like betrayed, kind of like, when they sell. And on the one hand, I get it, because it's like, what I compared it to a while ago is like, it's like when you're watching a TV show, you get really invested in a character, and then like they get rid of this character. Either the character like leaves for a long while, or they die, etc. And it's kind of like that. Like, you just get really totally invested and caught up in this character, and then it's gone, and you're just like, oh, what do I do now? And then they introduce this other character, and it's like, am I going to like this character as much? Or, so on the one hand, I get it. I've felt that before. I totally get it. But on the other hand, it's their dolls, their hobby, their money, etc. Like, so I feel like, by default, they can do whatever they want. And if it's now time for that doll to go to a different owner, then it's that time. Some people do not want dolls just sitting around. They want to actively do things with their dolls. And that's how they do the hobby. And there's no point to them of having a doll that they don't actively do things with, which I think is pretty damn understandable. So like, just seeing people attacked for that is just driving me insane. And I've said that like 50 times in this video, because apparently a lot of things are driving me insane. So I don't know. But I'm trying to see if there was anything else in my head. But I can't think of anything. I think that was pretty much it. And this has been a long enough video, so I think I'm going to let that be it. And if you watched all this, yay. Thank you very much. You did not have to. And I feel grateful, but you definitely did not have to. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing and being here and listening to me ramble about really, really stupid things. That's all. So, bye.